Well, we are just starting. So welcome everyone. And we have been having technical issues tonight, but we're going to record this. We're going to make sure that we can get it into the group so that we're going to be able to answer questions for everybody. So I'm so glad that you've joined us here tonight. Grab a beverage, settle in, and if you have a friend that you think you would like to see or hear this information, definitely invite them into this group. We're here to help you learn about Plexus and how it might benefit you or your friends. So we're going to share why we love these products. We're going to give you a glimpse into what we've seen and what we've experienced and felt. What you hear is not intended to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. It's strictly for informational purposes only. So please enjoy. We're going to talk about the focus of Plexus, which is focusing on root issues. So that's blood sugar balance, inflammation, and the microbiome inside our gut and the microbiome that's on our layer of skin. So that's our largest organ, the skin. So this is focusing on root health issues. I have three guests with me tonight, Chelsea, Carrie, and Brian, and they each have some experience with migraines. Carrie also has some experience with fibromyalgia. So I'm going to invite them to tell their experiences. I'm going to start with Chelsea and have her talk about what it was like before and why she thought that she wanted to try and gain some things in her health life and what she's found. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Hey, well, I'm a mom of three, and I noticed that, well, I'm 35, and I just noticed that things were just kind of like slowing down for me, and I was having regularly, it was almost like a common occurrence every month. I'd have a migraine for 3 days straight, and it was just a normal routine for me. And I just thought, well, this ain't right anymore, and I was getting tired of it, and I was like, obviously it needs to stop or whatever. And I saw one of my friends that's a school bus driver, which I'm a school bus driver, and she asked if I'd want to try it, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? Like, if I don't try it, if it doesn't work or whatever, then like try something else. So I tried the Bio Cleanse and the ProBio and the Pink Drink. And I started in August of last year, and I haven't had a migraine since.
Wow.
Yes.
Not one? Not one migraine since?
I've had maybe a little bit of one, but it wasn't to the point where it lasted 3 days. It just kind of like was kind of there, but I could function. But then, yeah, that was more in like in December or January. And then, yeah, I haven't really had a huge migraine since.
Wow. So did you change anything else about your habits, Chelsea, or anything else that you were doing?
No, not really. I was also having issues with some digestive issues. I couldn't eat vegetables. I had a hard time, I just get indigestion all the time. And I just felt like my body was just hanging on to all that bad sugar. Yeah. And I just did not have a way of getting rid of it. Yeah. And actually, another thing I noticed is that I haven't been like really moody. Oh. I haven't been like, my kids even like, yeah, Mom, you haven't really yelled at us in a while. So I'm like, well, you're welcome.
Bonus.
Yeah, so and I definitely know I haven't been like wanting to like, shout, or get aggravated so easily or anything like that, especially with having 2 teenage daughters and me in the same house. So that's, can get a little, the circus can go out of control.
Yeah. Raised 2 daughters. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. My youngest,
I have a son, and I feel for him. He's going to be well trained by the time he gets out of here.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea. And if anyone that's watching has some experiences that they could just drop in the comment if they're using Plexus, if they found some things that have been of benefit, it'd be awesome if you just added that to the comments as we went along too. So, Brian, I'd like to ask you about your experiences with Plexus, what you were doing, like what was happening for you before you started and why you got started.
Well, before I've had headaches, migraines, whatever you want to call them, for years. I've done everything just about possible. I've been to neurologists. I've had CAT scans. I've had MRIs. I got that, what's it called, a dieth piercing in my ear. And let me tell you, that hurt and it didn't help that much. Anyways, and like the medication I was on, just it wasn't cutting it. You know, like you can ask my wife Donna, like I wasn't a real fun person to be around some days. Spent most of my time on the couch, you know, when I wasn't at work. Yeah, I have some depression issues too. But since I started Plexus about, I think it was March 2nd, maybe, I got the product. Took a couple weeks to kick in. I've had a twinge of a headache, but a migraine, no. I've quit all my medications. Like I've gone off them all. I think I'm a little calmer person. I don't know. I guess you'd have to ask my boss. I'm not sure about that, but
Donna would tell us.
Yeah, Donna would tell you maybe, eh? I've got more energy. Like I went from, you know, spending all winter on the couch to up to 13,000 steps a day I'm walking. And I got to think it's the Plexus that's doing it, because I've never been on anything else that's giving me the energy that I have now and not had the headache. So that's about my story.
Well, that's awesome. So you mentioned that, you know, it took a couple of weeks to kick in. So, and we often find this, that when people get started, that they don't necessarily feel great day one, that it takes a little time before it works. So
yeah.
Did you experience some of the same headaches in that first couple of weeks of time period?
Yeah. You know, the first week, I was still having headaches and stuff like that. And, you know, at first you're thinking, oh, Jesus, is this going to work? Or is it just going to be something else that I'm trying that's not going to work? And then, you know, then all of a sudden I realized, Jesus, it's been a couple of days since I had one. And then you'd have a headache, you know, and then all of a sudden they've just they've disappeared. And it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, if I could get my legs to feel a little bit better, then man, I'd be good to go.
Well, who knows what might happen?
Well, I'm hoping.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Brian. So you said March 2nd.
Yeah.
Just like March 2nd, 2021. Like how long have you actually been using the product?
I got my third shipment just came in the mail today. So
not even 2 months yet.
Not even 2 months. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really amazing. I've never had anything of all the pills and medications and everything else I've tried. Like I've had Botox treatments. I've done it all, and nothing has worked like this so far. You know,
Fabulous.
I'm impressed.
Fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's awesome. Okay, now, Carrie, I know you've experienced migraines for a long time and fibromyalgia. So if you would be willing to share.
Absolutely. But I think Brian's story is my new favorite. That is awesome. That's so cool. I started with migraines when I was 15. struggled with them for 22 years. And just like Brian, tried everything, naturopaths, neurologists, all the stuff. I was just about to get a daith piercing, but I was far too chicken. So anyway, I never did do. Yeah, no doubt. It sounded painful. So I did try everything. I tried hormone treatments, and at the time, like I had a baby, and I had to rub these creams on and then cover myself up so that the hormone wouldn't leach onto her, right? Like it was just, there was just a lot. And you get so desperate, you are willing to try anything that anybody recommends to you because you need a lifeline. I had doctors shoot cortisone shots right into my neck. I've had just desperate measures taken, and all good intentions, all really, really good intentions. But in all those 22 years, not one single professional or person talked of this gut health thing. And so a whole new ball game, right? I've been with Plexus for, I think, 4 years. My little anniversary's coming up. And I just can't even, when we talk like this, it's really hard to remember how sick I felt. It's almost like, I don't know, because if I didn't have a migraine, I had a daily headache. Sherry posted today in the group, and I could just like everything in that list. Stress, yep, that would mean a migraine. Weather change, migraine. If I was dehydrated, I would actually be hospitalized and put on an IV just because I'd be dehydrated, and it would be a migraine. Medications, rebound headaches, right? Migraine people are always dealing with rebound headaches. The medication I was taking was $20 a pill. This was my like last resort, $20 a pill. I could hardly walk when I would take it because my legs would hurt so bad. My throat would close in. I could hardly swallow my own saliva, but this was my migraine treatment. So the risks, like it was a catch-22, right? But you try the things. So yeah, just a lot of stuff. Triggers your foods, right? Coffee, cheese, pickles, bananas, all these little things. If I hadn't had the right amount of sleep and I was to eat something on my trigger list and just the perfect storm was to happen, the headache, because it was always there, would then explode into a migraine. So yeah, I always thought I was the migraine queen, but I'm seeing that I'm meeting the king and all the rest of them here. So that it's nice to know you're not alone, but it is a lonely journey. And you dare to even hope. Like I started seeing these posts about gut health and migraines, and I thought, yeah, right. Like when I've tried all these big things, how's this little pink drink gonna do a thing for me? So I did start on the triplex because of the 60-day money back guarantee that I was obviously going to cash in on. But I started with the triplex and ease, and I would say day 3, I noticed less cravings. The first week, I noticed I didn't have a headache. And then I did have a major migraine detox. I went through, and it was big. And I thought, oh my gosh, these products are going to kill me. This is awful. Like it was the worst migraine ever. And after that, it was like the clouds cleared and my headaches were gone, and it was beautiful. So I came to Plexus because of the migraines, because if you were to ask me, that's all I had that was wrong with me. But so I started in May, and I think I painted my shed in the summer. So kind of a weird story, but I was painting my shed and I realized that my arms weren't burning, and that this background diagnosis of fibromyalgia that I was told I had, because basically I think they couldn't find out what was wrong with me. So I was told I had that, but I remember just my arms burning and just all those things, and it slowly kind of lifted. And that's the first time I really noticed that my fibro pain did not exist anymore after I did a very strenuous thing, because that would have been recuperation time previously. So yeah, so I came from migraines, but it trickled into everything else. But yeah, what else would you like, Sherry?
Well, I'm actually really glad, Carrie, that you mentioned the detox migraine, because I think it's really important that we help people to understand that it's not necessarily all going to be good days, that their body is going to have to go through a healing process and maybe like Alicia tells us, it's like an onion and you start peeling it and sometimes you get to a bad layer and it's going to be tough. Like you are going to have a recurrence of symptoms
Yeah.
that you experienced before. And then, like you said, come out the other side. So yeah, that's really, really good that I'm really appreciative that you mentioned that. You said a diagnosis of fibro. So that was like all the achy muscles, all the achiness, picking up things.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was I went through a season of dropping, like I could not lift my plates up into the cupboard and I would drop them. My arms just couldn't do the things I wanted them to do. I dropped my daughter above her crib. I'm still a good mama, but I dropped her above her crib. Like certain movements, my muscles would just not cooperate. And so I remember actually rubbing, whatever you rub on your arms, Voltaren or whatever it was, and putting tensor bandages on at night because I couldn't sleep because my arms were burning and aching and there was just no position that I could be in that didn't have pain associated with it. So I'm not sure why I didn't notice it was getting better sooner, but it was just kind of fading away and I was doing bigger jobs and all of a sudden it dawned on me that I couldn't say I had fibro anymore because I had none of the symptoms of it.
So then Chelsea mentioned the triplex, the pink drink, the BioCleanse, and the probiotic. You mentioned that that's what you started with. Were you taking or are you taking, Carrie, any additional products or did you find additional products that you really liked that helped?
No,
I would say,
sorry.
no,
Go ahead,
go.
Chelsea.
Sorry.
Me? I don't know if she said. No, I just kept with what was working. So
You stayed with the game. Carrie, do you have other products?
Just the ease. I would say that is my favorite. Like obviously the triplex is a dream combo, but ease for the inflammation and all of that, for which I started with for the headaches, right? And the tension headaches and all of that. But for the fibromyalgia, I think ease is perfection. I think it just does so much. So
Right. And Brian, you're taking the triplex as well?
Yep. Yep.
And ease.
Yes. Yep.
And the multivitamin X Factor Plus?
You got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Taking her all.
So there is one other thing, and Carrie, you may have tried it, is the Ease Cream for the achy joints and the achy muscles. So did you use it and did you find it of benefit for the fibro part?
yeah, that is, see, it's almost 4 years. I actually have to think back. I did order the cream and I put that in instead of the other creams I was using, right? The A535 and the whatever. I started using the Ease cream, which was actually effective. It didn't just make me smell like I was, anyway.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah, very effective.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so very, very much for sharing tonight. And we hope that what we've been able to share will be of value to other people. If some of you are thinking, you know what, it sounds kooky, but I think I'd like to try this, then just get a hold of the person that invited you into this group or that's shared this Zoom or this YouTube video with you. Talk to one of us if you need to. We'll be happy to help you find the products that are right for you. We can help you create a plan that's going to meet your needs and the best recommendations for you. If you're somebody that wants to share, so say perhaps you know of somebody with a migraines or fibromyalgia and you'd like to share with them, just invite them into this group to have a look or get a hold of the link to the YouTube from one of us. We're happy to help you share with other people. So in that case, there's also generous referral bonuses available for you as well. So no inventory, we don't make deliveries, easy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to those that invited people here. Thanks for those that have taken time to watch. We really appreciate you investing some of your time with us tonight. So thank you and bye-bye.
Yep.